welcome back. We're now in the portion on where I'm going to teach you how to create your own blog. Actually, there are many sites today where you can create your own blog. There are sites like blogger.com, wordpress.com, uber.com, Friendster, LiveJournal, Vox, among others. But for this demonstration, what I will do is show you how to create a blog using one of the most popular blogging tools today, and that is blogger.com. We're now at blogger.com. Blogger.com is a very easy to use tool in terms of creating your own blog. To use this site is you need to go through 3 steps. Create an account, name your blog, or choose a template. If you have a Google account, like a Gmail address or any other email address that you registered with any Google services before, then you have a Blogger account. Otherwise, you can just create your account here. So first you have to do is create your blog now. Click on create your blog now. And it will take you to the user registration screen. And you need to fill up information about yourself. That includes your name, the password that you desire to use. You can also put in other information like your display name. And then you need to type in the word verification to assure that you are really a person creating an account and not any automated system. However, like in my case, since I already have an account with Blogger, all I have to do is just log in to this service and be able to use it. So I will now log in. So remember that when using a password, make sure that you have a very strong password. It must be a combination of alphabet and numeric characters, and sometimes you have to put them in uppercase just to make sure that it will not be easy to crack. We are now going to create our first blog. So here, you just need to type a blog title. Remember that an ideal blog title must be one that will resonate to what your blog is all about. So don't just put in any other title. Unless, of course, you're not really doing this seriously and you're just doing it just to try it out. However, if you're really serious in blogging, make sure that you really take time to think what would be your blog title, blog URL, as not doing it properly will make it hard for you to configure it later on. So in this case, I have a small blog network, advertising network. So what I would like to do is to create a blog for this ad network. So I will call my blog Ads Per Post. Ads Per Post blog network for Ads Per Post blog network for bloggers. So in this case, I'm going to put in the name of the blog. Ideally, the blog address should resonate to what your blog is all about. Check its availability. And if it's available, you can now proceed and verify that JLTWAEW. And then you have the option of hosting your blog to another service, or you host it here. When we say host the blog to another service, meaning you put it in another location, like maybe you have a different web host where you would like to host your blog. Otherwise, you can just keep it as is. No? Once you are verified, blogger.com will now ask you to choose a template that you would use for your blog. So in this case, I will use a basic blog template first and then adjust from there. No? So for this one, let's use this one, the Minima. I like the Minima template, very simple. So click on continue. And then the blog is being created. So now that you have your own blog, you now have to make some configuration with it so you'll be able to use it further. No? And this includes setting up information. How do you want to handle the comments? Do you want the blog feed to be hosted elsewhere, or do you want to use the default one? So you can configure it here. So let's make a welcome post first. Let's see. So welcome. So we say this is the Ads Per Post blog network. where we explain our programs. For bloggers and advertisers. More details will be posted here soon. Okay. Then blog advertising. Remember that in every blog post, you should have a descriptive title, but since this is a welcome post, so I guess a normal welcome would suffice. So maybe I could put welcome bloggers and advertisers. And then in the labels, we can put more information. Like in this case, this is all about blog advertising. So we can also put blog marketing to make it more descriptive. And we can say blog network. And then once we're ready, so after typing our post, and as I mentioned, you have to make your blog labels or tags clear for easy identification. We're now ready to publish. So click on publish, and your blog will now, your blog post will now be saved and appear online. So the URL of this blog is adsperpost.blogspot.com. So let's open it now to have an idea how does this blog look like with our welcome post. So this is how it looks like right now. So we will now configure the site and put in more bells and whistles to it to make it a bit more user-friendly or reader-friendly. So we now go back to the blogger.com dashboard. Now, if you notice, the blogger.com dashboard has 3 tabs. Posting tab is where we create the post, edit our blog posts, and this is where you can moderate your comments later on. And then when you click on settings, this is where we try to put in more information on how do we want our blog to be set up. So the first selection there would be the settings basic. And this is where we put in the title of our blog if we want to change it. Then we put in the description. So make sure to put in enough information in your description area so that you'll be able to give the readers further insight as to what this blog is all about. So in this case, I will say this is the blog advertising network, Janette Toral, where information on blog marketing is posted. So afterwards, I could decide whether I want my blog to be added to the listing, and does this have adult content or what or not. So I could put it there. Whether I will show email post links, among others. So if that is okay, we will just save it. Then after saving, we will continue configuring further this blog. So we will now click on publishing. Apart from assigning your traditional blogspot address or having a traditional blogspot.com address, you can also put a domain name for your blog. So this is where you purchase a domain name, or if you have an existing domain name, you can point to it. So you can purchase your domain name within blogger.com, or you can purchase it from any third-party domain name services. Just make sure that it will allow you to edit it properly so that you can have your blog or your domain name pointed to your blogspot.com domain. Because there are domain name services that doesn't allow you to do so. So you better make sure that you get to check it. And then in the formatting portion or formatting menu here, you'll be able to assign your time zone also. So you can configure the date header format, timestamp format, and then you can also specify what time zone does your blog belong to. So in this case, I will choose Manila, and language is English, and save it. Afterwards, you configure your blog further by deciding on how do you want to handle comments. Note that all blogs typically accept comments. Therefore, in the case of Blogspot or blogger.com, you have to decide whether anyone can post a comment, or do they have to have Google accounts, or they are registered users. So in this case, I say that I want anyone interested to post a comment in my blog, and then I could say also that backlinks can be shown. Let's say they link to my blog, so I will be able, my blog site will show if there are other blogs linking to my blog post. And I could say also that all blog comments are moderated, meaning I have to approve each one of them and assign an email address to where they should go. Then maybe since I already moderated it, I will not require word verification anymore. And save that setting. You can also decide on how you want your blog post to be archived, meaning how will your archives appear, within your blog. It can be monthly or weekly or daily. So in my case, I think I'll go for monthly, so I'm happy with that. And you also have the side feed portion here. This is where you decide if you want to have your blog feed be hosted in another blog or in another service like FeedBurner. I'll show that to you later on how to go about it. And you can also decide whether you can make a blog post through email, that instead of logging on to blogger.com and make a blog post, you can just send an email and automatic, whatever you will email, it will appear in your blog. And you can also assign an open ID so that you can log on to other websites, or they also have permissions where you can invite people to be given access to your website, whether they can serve as co-authors or co-administrators, or you can also allow them to. You can also choose that a selected group of people are only the ones allowed to view the blog, or only blog authors are the ones only allowed to view the blog. So meaning you can create a blog site under blogger.com that can either be viewed by everyone, only the people that you've chosen, or your fellow blog authors only. Of course, after configuring the basic settings of your blog, you can now configure the layout. In the layout, you can do many things with your blog. Like for instance, instead of the text header, you can decide to put in an image instead. And you can also put in more page elements. Like here, if I click on add a page element, blogger.com gives me a suite of options to choose from that I can add in my blog. This includes having a blog list that shows off what are my favorite blogs. And we also have a subscription link to see for people to, you can also have a subscription link element so that people can subscribe easily to your blog. You can also have a poll, a link list. You can also add Google AdSense so you can earn revenue for your blog. You can also put in other third-party widgets as long as you have the source code, and use this one, the add to JavaScript. You can also add videos like YouTube videos to your blog automatically, pictures, slideshow of your photos, text, feed of other blogs, newsreel, meaning news coming from Google News, among others. So, as you can see from the demonstration, it is quite easy to create a blog. You just put in the headers, the titles, the description, and you start putting in the content. But the big challenge there is what sort of topics or posts that you will make in your blog that will really make it interesting. So I suggest that you really figure that out. And once you have that and you start posting content in your blog, it is easier to worry about the bells and whistles that you can put on your side blog later. Because the moment you start having good content, it is easier to add all the necessary components to make your blog fun, exciting, and easier to manage. Not only for you, but also for the enjoyment of your users. So if you have more questions about creating a blog, just visit our website at bloggingfromhome.com and post your questions there.